You are not failing because you're doing the wrong things. You are failing because you don't stay long enough to see the right things work. See, we don't have the start problem. We have a depth problem. We are a generation of world-class explorers who never actually leave the shore. Let me take you back to something that actually happened to me. I was at home chilling, playing video game I guess, when my mom called me from the other room. Can you find my phone? Check the bedroom or the living room. Simple task, I got this. I go to the living room, I do the med scan. You know the one. You stand in the middle of the room, rotate 360 degrees, don't move a single muscle, and conclude, yeah, it's not here. I go to the bedroom, I lift one pillow, I look at the desk, just the obvious places. 5 seconds in, Mom, it's not here either. I was working hard, right? I'm pacing, I'm sweating, I'm switching rooms like a professional athlete. I go back to the living room, I peek under the rug, nothing. I go back to the bedroom, I open one drawer, nothing. I walk out and say the words, the fatal words. It's not there, Mom. It's not there, Mom. She looked at me like, that's impossible. She didn't say anything. She just walked past me into the bedroom. She came back 5 seconds later holding the phone and asked me, what is this? She gives me that look. You know the look. What exactly were you doing there? I had no answer because honestly, I thought I had checked. I thought I had looked, but I hadn't gone deep enough to actually find anything. And from that day, I made myself a rule. I will never again say it's not there until I'm certain I went deep enough to know. But then I started noticing I had the same problem everywhere else in my life. I didn't fail to find the phone because it was missing. I failed because I searched the surface of 2 rooms instead of the depth of one. This generation isn't lazy. We move, and fast. We start things, we explore, we try, but we don't stay. We are incredible at quitting. And not in an ugly way. No. We quit with style. Wait, we don't quit anymore. Quitting sounds ugly. Now we pivot, we rebrand, we say, I'm just protecting my energy. The business, it got hard in month 3, so you pivoted to a new niche. Relationship, mistook the first rough patch for the wrong person. The skill, it didn't feel natural after a week, so you found a better alignment. Same room, different excuses. You are not growing, you're just wandering. And I already know what's coming. But what if I'm genuinely passionate about multiple things? Cool, totally valid. What if that wasn't my purpose? Sounds reasonable, right? Sounds even wise. But watch how quickly that same sentence becomes the exit every single time. The idea gets hard, maybe it's not my purpose. The relationship gets complicated, maybe we're not meant to be. The job gets boring, maybe this isn't my calling. Most of the time, when we say this isn't my purpose, what we actually mean is this just got uncomfortable and I'd rather start over than go deeper. At what point does finding your purpose just become a comfortable reason to quit? Because here's what I've noticed. The things that were actually worth it in my life, they all had a moment where I almost left. A moment where it felt wrong. A moment where I was absolutely convinced it wasn't for me. And those were exactly the moments right before it clicked. My mom didn't find a different phone. She went back to the same room I had already checked. She didn't give up on the room. She gave the room more of herself. You don't need a new idea. You need to go deeper, farther into the one you already have. You don't need a new relationship. You need to go farther into the one you already chose. Imagine if, instead of switching every time it got hard, you stayed. How many things in your life would actually start working? Because success isn't hidden somewhere else. It's right where you are. You just haven't gone deep enough to see it. And seriously, go check under the sofa. It's probably there. Thank you for watching. Peace.